joining us right now is Nancy Pelosi's daughter and Hillary Clinton's superdelegate, Christine Pelosi. Christine, good to see you.
Good to see you, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. So you are a superdelegate. Now, we have another delegate here in the studio. That's Georgette Mosbacher. She's a delegate for the Republicans. She said the game is rigged. Do you think things are rigged?
Well, I would say this, and good morning, Georgette. I would say this. I've been to 41 states campaigning over the last 10 years doing my campaign boot camps, and everywhere people say the same thing. Why should we bother if the fix is already in? If the establishment's already going to win, if the machines aren't working, if the outcome is predetermined. And starting in 2008, when I, as an elected member of the Democratic National Committee and a superdelegate, started what some of the grassroots called the Pelosi Club, wherein my mother and I, both superdelegates, said our vote at convention should go to the pledged delegate winner. I've been fighting for reform because I think that when you have superdelegates, it's important for us to go to the convention and it's important for us to weigh in on the platform, but we should not overturn the democratic process. And this year I teamed up with a Bernie Sanders supporter to say in February, we're on Team Democracy. I'm going to work my heart out for Hillary. My friend Anna Galland from Move On is working her heart out for Bernie. But at the end of the day, in June, when there's a pledged delegate winner, we're both going to support that person. And I would urge every superdelegate to join us.
Isn't that really window dressing? I mean, when you say, you make it appear that some superdelegates are going to be for Bernie and some are for Hillary Clinton, and that just isn't true. I mean, the superdelegates are for Hillary. It's been set up for a very long time. And are you really telling us that the superdelegates aren't committed to Hillary? That's not what we're seeing.
Well, what I'm telling you is that in June, I think that all of the superdelegates ought to go for the winner of the pledged delegates. Even Bill Clinton said
the winner is set
a week and a half ago that he would do that.
But if the winner is a count of delegates, a delegate count, then you decide before who the winner is, because you're superdelegates, and you decide.
Well, look,
by
all I can do is
in this primary season.
Well, I can vote for whoever I want, Georgette. It's a democracy. If I have a candidate, I'm going to speak out on his or her behalf. And again, that's why I testified in 2009, after we went through this same issue with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton in 2008. I testified that they ought to reduce the number of superdelegates from 20% down to 5%, and they should just bind us to the winner.
That sounds really,
and I
really
think
good.
If they had accepted that, we wouldn't be here today.
Well,
so
well,
I still think my reform idea is a good one.
I think it is, but the point is you haven't had the reform, and right now we see Bernie Sanders, who's won 8 out of the last 9, and yet Hillary Clinton's way ahead because they put in the superdelegates for Hillary, not for Bernie.
Well, to be fair, earlier
they put him in for Barack Obama in 2008. I mean, the reality is, until you have this reform, those of us who are superdelegates now can make a statement now that we're not going to overturn democracy. That's the best that we can do to make sure that people don't think that it's rigged and know that their vote is going to count and that we are going to be accountable to the American people. We want all these Hillary and Bernie supporters to get together after the June primaries are over. And so all we can do now until we reform it for next time is to demystify it this time. But I agree with you, Georgette, when you say that it does feel like if there are a group of people who have the power to overturn what the American people are doing by turning out to primaries and caucuses, you're going to increase cynicism and you're going to decrease turnout. And I think that Democrats and Republicans ought to be encouraging more people, not less, to be engaged in democracy.
Christine, do you worry about that? It's Dagan McDowell. In terms of Bernie supporters, that regardless of what happens, they're going to feel like they aren't represented, and because much has been discussed about fissures and a decline in the Republican Party. But what about the Democratic Party? That you have a giant swath of young voters who are for Bernie who will feel like they're robbed.
Well, again, I think I have a way to resolve that, which is for everybody to quite quickly acknowledge and support the results of the pledged delegate count. But yes, Bernie Sanders has brought in a lot of new people to expand the base. Hillary Clinton has brought in a lot of new people and gotten 2.5 million more votes and a couple hundred more pledged delegates because of her work to consolidate the base. And we need all of the people who've been involved in the primary to stay on for the general. So again, outreach, respect, and pledging to support the winner of the pledged delegate contest is, I think, a step that as a Democratic Party leader, I feel is important to take. And I'll tell you, I have some great friends who support Bernie Sanders. And, you know, we're fighting it out right now, but I'm confident we can come together in June.